Welcome to How Do They Afford That's Budget Battle, where we each take a savings tip from a listener and go head to head to find a winner. I'm Michael Thompson, and hello, Canna Campbell.
Good morning, how are you?
Going well, thank you. We are up for a brutal battle today, and we have a fearless judge ready to help decide a winner. The judge is my colleague from the Fear and Greed Business News podcast, Sean Aylmer. Sean, hello.
Hello, more fearful than fearless, to be honest, but hello to you both.
We are in for a good one, because this, can I just jump straight into mine, please? Is that all right? Normally I would start with a bit of kind of good-natured sledging and just talking up how good I am and how good my tip is and how good the listener is who sent the tip to me. I'm not going to do any of that today. I'm just going to jump straight in, because Dan has delivered for me today. Dan has sent this one in to me, and I love this. This may be a tip that I do myself. God, I spent a lot of time just as a preamble then, didn't I? I said I was going to jump straight in, and then I spent about 2.5 minutes talking about myself and Dan. Dan says...
Are you still with us, Canna?
I'm just a little bit peeved, to be honest, Sean. I feel like there's a little bit of cheating going on here, because my savings tips come from my own genuine, authentic heart. I'm not actually pinching from other people. I'm finding my own content. I feel like there's a bit of plagiarism here.
No,
don't let that stop me. Don't let that stop you. Sorry,
what you've got to
Michael.
understand, though, Canna, and I don't have a lot of sympathy for you on this, because you know it. You're smart at this stuff, whereas people like Michael, I'm not so sure. He needs a lot of help. You don't.
He needs all the help he can get.
Yeah, sort of.
All right, I forgive Michael for having to
cheat.
Borrow, pinch, cheat, lie, deceit. So, as you were saying, sorry, Michael.
I love the fact that Canna, you started that just by attacking me and criticising me, and Sean defended me by describing how pitiful I am. So both of you have combined just to really kind of make me feel like the underdog, which is a great position for me to be in, because Dan has come to my aid. He has sent me a fantastic tip this week. He says, volunteering can actually be a great savings tip. It sounds counterintuitive, but wait. If you volunteer at certain events, you actually get free entry. For instance, he says, I volunteered at a fringe festival and I got to see a heap of the acts for nothing. Didn't cost me a cent. All I had to do was be on duty for a certain amount of time, scanning tickets, acting as a greeter and an usher. Tickets would have cost me a fortune, and depending on what event you do, sometimes there is a thank you pack that actually includes tickets for premium events within the festival. So you're giving something back and you are receiving something in return. I just think that I don't know what criteria you've got there, Sean, but I'm assuming that this ticks all of the boxes, and Canna can just leave right now.
Were you never a university student, Michael?
Yes. This is exactly what they do. Well, I tell you what, we used to at Bathurst, when we went to uni in Bathurst, and you have the Bathurst 1000 on in October, and after, like, I think it's about 3:00 on the Sunday, so when they're getting down to the final kind of few laps, I don't know whether it was official, but they stopped checking to see who was climbing over the fence to get in. And so that you could actually get in and see the end of the race if you went through the back, and they didn't have security on the back fence. So really, actually, what I've just described is illegal and not actually a hack.
Yeah.
And also, it was like 20 years ago, so it's probably different now. You know, just disregard everything I've just said and focused on what Dan provided. Volunteering, great savings hack. Canna, what have you got?
Hang on, back it up. Did Dan want to disclose where he was able to become a volunteer, perhaps? Like, we're missing that kind of important information as to where do I join? How do I sign up? What website do I go to?
Well, it's kind
of like it's a bit empty. It's a bit flaky. Don't you think, Sean?
So Canna, the only thing working against you at the moment is one of my sons, who's just finishing high school, volunteered at one of the local football grounds, one of the NRL teams, and he's watched a lot of footy this year by doing exactly what Dan suggested.
Oh, this is just one of those moments.
Look, I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really good. And I really admire Dan, was it? Dan. But I just feel like, Dan, we needed to know exactly where do you sign up? Like, is it a sports company or is there actually an event management company that's looking for volunteers? Like, I feel like we need to be a little bit more.
You're sounding very defeatist early, Canna.
And you know what it's called, Canna? It's called Google. And I think what you could probably do is just go where to volunteer and get free tickets. You know what? Give your tip, and I'm going to do that and see what pops up while you're talking. I will be paying attention to you, but I'm just going to Google while you do that.
All right, just to throw you, for the 5,000 people that are going to listen to this tip and actually want the details, can you just annoy Michael and pester him and send him a DM demanding that he have the information as to where exactly they can sign up in order to become a volunteer. And don't just send one message, send multiple messages saying that you demand more information in the savings hacks.
You're trying to get the two of you are trying to get me spammed.
Well said, Canna. Michael,
Totally.
You're about to get disqualified for talking too much. Canna, what's your hack?
All right, so my hack is, it's got many levels, and you can actually do this with multiple companies. Let me explain. All right, so my private health insurance, which I value very much so, is with HCF, not product advice. Now, with HCF, I get discounts at my local Ramsay pharmacy. In fact, my HCF has many discounts providers for me. For example, I can save up to $900 a year on e-gift cards. I also get discounts on fuel, entertainment, access to parks, pet insurance. And when it comes to my local Ramsay pharmacy, I get $5 in rewards just for signing up. I get a $10 gift card every time I have a birthday. I also get 7.5% cash back or earning back towards my Ramsay pharmacy healthcare card, and I also get a 5% discount. Now, for anyone that spends a lot of time at their local chemist, and I will say chemists are really quite fabulous places when you think about all the different lotions and potions that you can access.
And hours in there.
Yeah. Oh, I love a good trip to the pharmacy.
I think you were being sarcastic there, weren't you, Sean?
No, seriously. If it's a big chemist, you literally can spend hours in there.
There's something for everything in your life. And it's like the post office. The post office isn't just the post office anymore. The post has got every gadget under the sun, and they all strategically placed as you're waiting in the queue to post something or to pick up something. And
have you ever been in the Aussie Post queue, though, and just sort of see something, gets your attention? By the time you turn around, you've actually lost 3 or 4 places because you actually moved out of the queue because you're so interested in it.
I try and keep one leg in the queue, and then I try and stretch across the store.
And I love the fact that the post office has now become the place to buy air fryers and things. Like ours always has like this array of air fryers in the window. Like it is the least post office thing you could imagine to go in there and buy an air fryer. But I'm like, okay, all right, why not?
It's like when you're at the queue at the post office, you're watching a constant series of infomercials.
That's a good point.
Yes.
But hang on, is your tip go to the post office or is your tip go to the chemist? All of these things feel like you would spend more now because you're encouraging people just to go shopping.
Look, it was multifaceted, you could say. I am an award-winning budget buster. So I guess it is for everyone to have a look into their private health insurance, because what HCF offer is not necessarily unique or limited. A lot of the private health insurance companies offer these further discounts in other areas such as, gift cards and fuel and entertainment and pet insurance. So it's worth doing a little bit of an investigation into your private health insurance and making sure that you're making the most of those savings. And of course, being an HCF member, I'm signing up to Ramsay.
So it's not just HCF. So I'm a Bupa person, not for or against Bupa, just mentioning it. So I'm on my phone. Oh, look at these things I can do. Life rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Bet you didn't know that before.
So yes, so it's broadly across the sector.
Mm. They're like preferred partners.
Yeah.
All those little savings really do add up.
Yeah. Well, so I've got to judge this. So it's the volunteering, which also has an altruistic lens to it as well, which is good.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
and basically making better use of your health benefits. But I presume that's the same with your telco benefits and things like that as well. So it's probably broader. I think I'm going to have to come down on the side of Canna.
No,
I think the health insurance. I think that affects more people, to be honest,
yes,
than the people who are capable of volunteering at Sydney Fringe Festival. And
that was just
got time at the moment to volunteer. Everyone's trying to earn $1 to survive.
Hold on, Canna. I'm about to. Everyone should volunteer. I could be rescinding this.
That's a very good point. But you do have to have time.
You got to have time. No, I'm sorry, Michael. It's an excellent idea. Well done, Dan. But Canna wins.
I genuinely thought I had that one. I googled it just to be clear. I did Google and I just typed in where to volunteer and get free tickets, and there's a whole stack of places and things that you volunteer, and yes, you get a ticket as part of the deal. So, look, Dan, we didn't win, but at least we've helped out people. And you know what? You and I can feel united in our sense of injustice because, Sean,
Canna, he's off. He's gone.
I wish there was a place.
Violin out.
I wish there was a place to appeal this decision, and maybe I'll put it to the court of public opinion and get people to vote on Canna's Instagram. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. But just rise
I'm going to have if you're going to do that, I'm going to do a citizen's arrest for you basically breaking and entering and attending a series of events that you should have been a proper fee-paying patron.
It was 20 years ago. The statute of limitations has well and truly expired. I'm in the clear. I'm assuming that's the case. Any lawyers can advise me. Thank you, Sean. You've done a sterling job on that decision. I say that very sarcastically.
You do. Thank you both.
Thank you.
That was the budget battle from How Do They Afford That? It is a bonus episode out every week. Send your own savings tips in. Give me a bit of help. I've put the links in the show notes so that you can pick whether to send them either to me or maybe to Canna if you'd like. And it might be yours that we use in the battle next week.